Hey guys, Ted Bogert here. Welcome back to the Ted Show. Gosh, I'm so excited to have Maria and Curtis Partridge on the show. Maria and I go way, 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 way back when she was just a child. And then I ran into her at a John Chin event of all
Yeah.
things. And so we brought it back, and she's got this amazing husband, this amazing company. Obviously, Curtis is her husband. We have Lotus Management Services, but they have a really cool event coming up. It's the Orlando Small Business Tech Day, and it's November 16th. They've got some amazing speakers. I mean, we're all about tech, right?
Yeah.
We want to learn, we want to get educated, and we want to hear it from pros who can tell us what we need to hear. So they're here to share all things tech. Welcome to the show, y'all. How you doing today?
Thank
Doing
you,
good.
Ted.
Thank
Glad
you.
to be here.
Excited to have you. I love Curtis's background. I wish I could pull that off. I usually look like I'm going in and out of some kind of crazy trip there, but you look perfect. So before we get into Tech Day, I want my audience to know a little bit about you both. And of course, we'll start with ladies first. Maria, tell them a little bit about you, and then we'll wrap it up with Curtis, and he can talk all things tech.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much. So, me, Ted and I actually have done business in the past in the real estate world.
We did.
And but my career has been in property management, have been working with real estate investors. So a lot of numbers, right? Numbers, liability, compliance, you name it, from A to Z. So that's the bulk of my career. Love working with people. That's kind of morphed into um, business management, and Lotus Management Services was born. Um, at that venture, my biggest passion is basically helping others. I mean, in helping investors, they have an ultimate goal. How do you get there? What do you do while you're investing during that? And then what is your exit strategy? So that consultation kind of I'm bringing forward in Lotus Management Services. Small businesses, they have an end goal. How do you get, kind of manage the whole minutia of all kinds of things tearing you into different actions, especially when the growth starts happening. So that's what Lotus Management does. Has that tech, bring some clarity to it, and manage that component to make sure that they can focus on their growth. We do all the small details, make sure that those holes are covered, and bring some experts forward to make sure that they're handled properly. That's our techs, our engineer, and all the security that goes along with it. So we have our check boxes. We want to make sure we stay current. Um, so our guys are constantly getting educated. We are always getting educated. You can't grow if you're not doing that, right?
Amen.
So that is us. That's what we love to do. That's our passion. We enjoy the day to day, and like when they're pulling their hair out, hey, no worries, here for you.
What
So
I love is you've got the people component, which a lot of times from a tech company, that's why most tech companies scare business owners and people because
Yes.
tech is something they don't know, and so the unknown. And
yeah,
if you don't have a people person there to kind of help them feel better about it, it's a scary thing to
it
have to deal
absolutely
with.
is.
That's why I'm happy they have you, but they also have to have Curtis. Not that Curtis isn't friendly too. Look at that smile, but you want somebody who understands the tech inside and out. So, welcome, Curtis. Tell us a little bit about you.
Thank you, Ted. And I wanted to follow up real quick when you mentioned about people, I guess you could say, people oriented people. That's the first thing we look for when we hire is
Yes.
those that have empathy because, when folks are calling them, a lot of times they're in a rough spot and they need to get something done right now. So that's why we answer the phone live and we do it in less than 30 seconds. And you don't get a dispatcher, you get a tech. He can help you right then, right there, he or she. So,
That's
but
awesome. That is so good because I can't tell you how many people have told me horror stories
yes,
about tech companies, and so it's wonderful to have a tech company that's people first,
yes,
which
yeah.
is what you guys are. So tell us a little bit about you, Curtis. Did you wake up one day and as a 5-year-old and decide you wanted to be in technology? Give us a little background on you.
More or less.
More or less, yeah. I was 7 years old. I got my first computer. Started programming in assembly language, which is pretty advanced for a 8-year old, and played around the net for quite a while. Ended up getting into broadcasting. and was on air and did engineering as well through the 90s. Kind of saw that industry changing and said, let me do something else, and got into full blown IT in the late 90s, mid to late 90s. And I just absolutely love it. I live, breathe, eat, sleep technology. It's fun. Or, matter of fact, we renovated a home in 2019, and everything's automated. We don't turn lights on or off. It just happens. And so to me, it's just fun. And what's really taken over in the last couple of years has been security. I decided about a year and a half ago to go back to school, which is fun at 50, by the way. But I've always been in some sort of training, but this was 2 hours a day at least, and very intense, and got a really good certification in security, and was able to land that earlier this year. And so now we're focusing more and more just out of need, security and compliance. And, eventually we're all going to have to be compliant to something. Even insurance companies are requiring IT compliance now, and are going through a compliance program to even buy insurance.
It's scary out there.
It is.
Security wise, it's interesting. I've been seeing a lot. I have a real estate group that I created on Facebook, and I can't tell you the number of made up accounts that want to join that group. And you have to really know what to look for to know that that's a fake account. And imagine businesses who are accepting these clients in, and then on their social media and the access that they're given. It is very, very scary out there. And I only know a little bit. I can't imagine a big company where security is everything to me, not having a tech company that also believes the same thing behind me. So yeah, it's very scary out there.
Well, the biggest thing we're seeing is business email compromise, where they'll infiltrate your email system, and then they can do all sorts of things once they do that. We've seen losses of one company had a loss of $45,000 via wire fraud. We actually know of a title company that suffered well over $200,000 in loss.
Jeez. It's scary because I've seen those emails. I have actually seen them come in, and they look exactly like a title company request for wire. And if you are not on top of it and know, that borrower's going to do it. And that's why title companies are so adamant about really trying to keep on top of that. But these people keep growing, and they learn, and they develop, and they evolve. And so people like you, like Lotus Management Services, behind them helps them keep ahead of that game. And I love that because it's happening every day.
Oh, absolutely. Yes. Yeah. There's, when you talk about people, so we are only as good as the knowledge that our people have, right? It is constantly morphing. So the education piece is really important. Knowing that like you say, it's scary. So the business owner that is concerned about the status of their client or customer, the end user, they're like, really want to make sure that they're protected too. And I think that in today's world, the regulations that are being put in place in the state of Florida is to expand on that. How are you going to protect? It's your responsibility as a business owner to make sure that happens. So now they're actually putting these measures as regulatory nuances in the industry. So it affects all of us. It affects all of us from the start point to the end point. And then while you are looking to do that reoccurring, transaction, that reoccurring purchase and sale, what are you doing with that information? So it went out from PCI compliance to insurance, making sure that, that coverage is checking all those boxes. And then the compliance piece is like, show me how you're actually preventing all this. Yes. And then so now you're being held accountable with monetary fines as well as processes, and the proof of burden falls on these small businesses. So
It is, and that's probably, I'm going to guess. Actually, I'll just ask the question. So, is that part of the impetus behind Orlando Small Business Tech Day?
Yes.
Because I think having that, when Maria told me about what you're doing, I thought, oh my God, why didn't I know about this before? Because I think it's so important, especially on the small business level, because you're trying to maneuver through a lot of you all out there and you're not sure if they really have the certifications, if they really know what they're doing. And some of them are charging a lot of money and they are hiring people that don't have the experience or the education. And so it's scary as a business owner out there, a small business owner, to figure out how to spend that money because you want to make sure you spend it in the right place with the right people. So talk about the impetus behind Orlando Small Business Tech Day, and then tell us a little bit about it because I'm excited.
So, Orlando Business Day, we had the opportunity to bring some great experts in their area. So, it's not just us as keynote speakers. This is what we do on a day to day, but who are we? So we're bringing forward some experts. Robert Hershevik from the Shark Tank. I don't know if a lot of people know this, but he's got his own cybersecurity enterprise level. So he has started, from like $5 million a few years in, and now he's a $1 billion company. So that kind of tells you that this person has been there in the front. And let me tell you, when they say that he's a nice shark, he is definitely that nice person. He really, truly is.
He really is.
Yeah, he is very vulnerable. He'll just, he just like we're talking right now. It's a simple conversation. He's amazing. So, anyways, we want to bring his expertise so business owners can understand there are solutions, and you can step through this whole huge big elephant that you have to buy. What's your budget? This is the importance of prioritizing. So we want to make sure that it's not just us speaking, hear it from the best, right? Yes. And then we also have Adam Sire, that is the co-founder of Siri. So I was blown away that we had that opportunity. He's going to be talking about AI. A lot of people have a lot of questions. Should we be afraid of it? How should we use the tool? Is it a tool? And also being aware of what the dangers are. So that's going to be fantastic. And then we have Michael McAllowitz. We've known him. We've actually had the opportunity to meet him in person and also hear him speak. We follow almost everything that he has. He's got some great business aspects that he's going to be bringing to a small business owner and a mid-sized business owner. So that's going to be great content. And then we're going to be talking about more of the practicality of these nuances, budget, insurance, and so forth. But we're not only having the virtual event, which I hope everybody joins us, and I know that's going to be probably very convenient. But we also have a watch party. So by registering to our event, it's a 4-hour virtual event. You're going to have the opportunity to ask questions through the chat platform. But if you come to the watch party, you're going to be able to engage with a lot of these tool professionals that are going to be there that we bring forward as our offering to, solve all these little issues and challenges that you have on a day-to-day. So are all these solutions safe? And what's my recourse behind it? You can ask that question right then and there. So it's not just us. It's also going to be our team that, helps us support our small business clients and for anyone else that wants to join us and or just ask questions to make sure they're making the right decisions and choosing a provider. So absolutely, happy to help.
I can tell that you're a people group first because most tech companies wouldn't think about the watch part, the social part. Yeah. And so I love the fact that you can do the techie part. You can be somewhere else and watch and be virtual. But I love the in-person part because that's where a lot of small businesses are going to want to touch and feel and see and interact and then get comfortable with. And so that's such a really cool component of what you're doing, because a lot of times it's easy to get lost in a million other things when you're watching something virtual, but to be there and be able to watch it and participate with you, with your team, that's a huge deal to me.
Thank you. We're going to also have amazing food. The Wave Hotel will be bringing forward some.
I love the Wave Hotel.
Yes, yes. there's plenty of art, and then we can have a little bit of fun. We have happy hour right after, and we want to make sure we roll out the red carpet. But it's about being comfortable watching and getting educated on something that may not be so comfortable. But we want to bring that comfort zone.
I'm excited, actually, really excited, because I feel like we don't. I've seen little things here and there, or maybe bigger tech events, but small businesses are really, to me, it's an untapped market, and there's a definite, huge need. And when I think of small businesses, I think of tiny businesses, these small entrepreneurial companies that might have come together in 2020, and now they've got a couple of employees and they have no idea really what's going on, and they don't understand the importance of the technology. Or I'm seeing on the real estate side, Maria, a lot of title companies coming up and opening, and the thought of them not having the protection that they need or are required to have is really scary out there. So it's really a huge deal. I mean, I'm really excited. I'm not I know enough to be dangerous. Like I know how to spot a fake account ish.
Yeah.
But I want to learn more. And I think that there's a lot of people like me who just aren't sure where to go for that.
Right.
So now here's a time and a day and a place to go. So talk about the event. How can they register? Give them the date again. Talk about the Wave Hotel and the time frame and all the good details.
So it's on November 16th from 12:30 to 5. The 4-hour event, you will, you'll have an opportunity to come and get comfortable, and then we have the virtual part, and then happy hour will commence after that. That's going to be at the Wave Hotel. But if you are not able to come and you want to watch virtually, you can always get registered, which I would recommend either way. lotusbusinesstech.com /tech day /day 2023, which is right above Curtis's head.
Yes, and that'll be in the body of the post, right about. Yeah, I know, it's so good. Like, you actually look good in yours. When I literally look like I'm going in and out of.
I have to be very still. I can mess it up just like that. So.
Okay, good. I feel a little better about
yes.
that. Like,
that's why I have all the statuesque.
Yes, you have to sit still, and I have no ability to do that, apparently. So November 16th, and we'll put the link in the body of this in a minute, and I'll make sure that you got, as we're sharing it, I'll share the link so that you can register. I also agree with Maria. I think you should register for the virtual, but you still should attend if you can. I think it's super important to have that interaction, to get to know Curtis and Maria and their team, so that you can feel really good, because I see it a lot. I see people talking about getting stuff stolen. I see business owners struggling with tech. They don't know how to do it. They're trying to do it all on their own. Their cousin Vinny might have taken a class 30 years ago, and cousin Vinny is the one that's helping them out. And so it's just a recipe for disaster. And I love the compliance part that you were talking about, where all of our industries are under the gun, and the responsibility is back on the small business owner. And they really have to get with the times and get with a company that can support them. Just like you all can.
I want to mention too, we're gonna have a lot of fun giveaways at the
event
as well, and a couple surprises. So it's not only just gonna be learning, but it's gonna be a lot of fun as well.
See, again, people versus tech, because most small business owners would say, my tech company is not fun. There's nothing fun about my tech company. I'm not having a good time. But I love that you thought that through, and I think that is a testament to what's going on behind the scenes with your business and your relationships. All right, one more time, tell them the best way they can register and the best way they can reach out to you all.
So we can register at lotusbusinesstech.com /tech-day 2023. And you can reach us at Maria Partridge at lotusmserve.com and Curtis at Curtis Partridge at lotusmserve.com. And you can email us, and we'd be happy to reach out if you have any questions in the interim. I also want to mention we have some great sponsors. If it wasn't for them, would not be possible. Lenovo has been amazing. They're really they have the heart for the small businesses and have great products. Grandstream is our platinum sponsor. They're amazing. Summit Broadband, LMPC, which is Lake Nona Performance Center. Amazing product for the corporate type of team. They also will be there, and that's one of the surprises, by the way. And we also have ADP. You have questions about HR, payroll, so on and so forth. By the way, for all you HR professionals out there, you will get PDCs. You will get professional development certs for this event. So there's a dual, so you don't have to, you can get educated and also check that box. So be happy to see you and answer any questions that you may have.
Fantastic. I'm excited. November 16th, y'all, the link will be below. Thank you, Maria. Thank you, Curtis. I'm excited. I think it's such an amazing event. What a great idea. People and technology coming together trying to help the small business owner out. It's awesome. So thank you both for being on the show. You guys register. Get out there November 16th, 12:30 to 5 at the Wave Hotel and or virtual. But I definitely want you to register. And if you can come, you should definitely come and meet Curtis and Maria and their team. Thank you guys so much. We'll see everybody on November 16th.